Okay, now I promise I've started the recording. I promise. You covered that
I'm
label, right?
one can deep of. Oh yeah. No, I didn't show the. It was just the side.
What
Or I
do
was
you
gonna
want,
name
Kim?
it in my intro. God damn it.
Well, okay. Well,
Can
there
we
you
not do
are.
that? I mean, it's not like it's a TV show. Like, what are they gonna do?
No, I
Get
was
mad
just
that we?
jabbing you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I wasn't
Well,
aware.
instead of doing a retake, hey, hello, how's it goings? So what are we talking
I'm
about?
one can deep of Pear Secco, Aubrey.
And I am the unediting king, Mason. So hi
Welcome
guys.
back.
Hey, how's it going again?
This is what are we talking about? Where we talk about stuff and things and all the stuff and things in between that.
Sparingly, as of
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. I mean, you know.
Well, hey, we're finally back again. Hello, how's it going? Once again, continuing to apologize for being so weird with the schedule after just changing it, but life is happening, and we're doing our best to put things out as frequently as we can, but obviously, like, stuff gets in the way. We
Oh,
don't want to
absolutely.
bring, like, even if we may
Half-assed
have,
content your
like,
way.
well, it's we just want to bring the best, and we also are busy as shit and hating it right now. But hey, we're here anyway, and also we're trying something new this time. This will not be extremely relevant to the audience listeners, but we have also decided to record with our webcams this time since we're online again, and we figured, hey, this would probably be a better way for us to like connect and like have a better conversation because we can see each other like we
Yeah,
would if we were recording together. But
right.
since we're doing that, and I want to maximize the efficiency of our content creating gains, I am recording a most likely unedited video version of this as well that will be put up on our YouTube. And the reason it's
Yes, yes.
unedited is because I don't know how to do the visual form of editing yet. So, for now, this is the best we've got. Hi.
Hey.
So, now that we have that out of the way, it was probably the most, like, actual intro we've ever had before in our entire podcasting career, probably. What are we talking
Yeah.
about? What are we talking about, Aubrey?
I mean, I've got some things I want to talk about, especially now that like since we're recording one of these as a video. If you watch that version, you can kind of like visually follow along with some of the things I talk about, which I really like. I mean, I will still be posting photos to the Instagram this week, for what I talk about and for what Mason talks about, depending
Hopefully on time
on
this time, but you know what? That goes for both of us.
hopefully. Um, and you guys are gonna hate me, but I want to talk about some contestants on this season of RuPaul's Drag Race right now.
Okay. We are on.
Specifically, I want to talk about Utica Queen and Simone. They're both very different queens, but they are both like my top picks for this season, and I love them a lot. And I want to like talk about why I love them and why I think they would make great ambassadors of the RuPaul's Drag Race brand.
Alright, make your
Um,
case.
okay, well,
Jury, judge, and bailiff.
I'll go ahead and start out with Utica Queen because she is a much more. She's an easier topic to tackle. With Simone, I have a whole lot of things that I want to talk about, but this is a little more straightforward. We'll just go on up to her Instagram and take a couple looks at these things. Utica, the thing that impresses me the most about Utica Queen is she makes everything herself, designs everything herself, and I really love that.
Hmm.
because I think it shows. Oh, sorry, I'm having some problems with.
You not logged into your Instagram, Aubrey?
Not online. I never use it online. I'll just use the Drag Race fandom wiki for this.
Might as
Um,
well. That's more our territory anyway.
Utica Queen is the real name of the performer is Ethan Munt, and he is from Minnesota,
Hmm.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, specifically also Utica, Minnesota, which is why his name is Utica Queen. Um, Utica does so much that I really enjoy fashion wise, but I'm just really impressed that a lot of this is made by himself or herself. Like it it's incredible that someone could make all of this, like let alone also be a performer in it. You know what I mean? Because it's one
Yeah.
thing to make a garment, it's another thing to wear a garment. It
Yeah,
is
I mean, like, performing arts is different from, per se, designing, but, I mean, at the same time, Aubrey, like, I feel like a lot of people that get into, like, the design aspect of it usually also have somewhat of an interest in the performing as well. At least, like, I feel like the
I
creative brains lie in similar locations.
I would say so. Um Another unique thing about Utica is Seventh Day Adventist, which is a form of Christianity. And there has not been a single competitor to come to RuPaul's Drag Race and that be something they openly say on television, which I thought was really interesting. Um,
Hmm.
I won't lie, in the beginning, I thought that might work against her, but she's described herself as a very bring your own God type of Christian. And I think that's really great because it doesn't like keep any of her sisters feeling
Wait,
like, oh, she wants to convert me. You know, it's more open minded. It's like, yes, I
wait,
believe in Christ, but you can believe whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what you should believe, which
wait, Utica's
wild.
Christian?
Yes, Seventh Day Adventist to be specific.
Yeah, you say
Um,
that, but it's still, I don't.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird because normally we
crazy.
don't consider drag queens of like to be people of faith or
Well, it's
whatever. Or
she
that's something they keep
wears
more private.
like incredibly, like, usually it's very like horrific gothic, like it's very
Avant-garde, I would say, sometimes.
well
It
it
isn't over the top like gore or like horror.
but
I can
no,
think
I
of
feel
one
like
look in particular, but
she's always got like a horror tinge going on with it though, like almost every single one. That's crazy to me. That's okay. I've learned something already.
I will say it's definitely worth looking up if you're at all curious about Yuta Queen and her personality. Highly recommend looking up this video that is mentioned here. Utica's reaction to the RuPaul question, "Have you ever smoked weed before?" left RuPaul laughing for 30 seconds. One of his longest laugh reactions on the show. And like, Utica doesn't even say anything in response. She just makes faces. She's like, and RuPaul is losing it, and it is honestly fascinating to see. Um,
Dude, hey, you think RuPaul just like pops off the set and fucking just like cranks out a spliffy real fast, just like while everyone's off the stage. Like whenever they're waiting for the contestants to come in, her and Shell Visage just like walk off to the side, be like, "Yo, we'll be right back. Hey, be back. Like one sec, one sec. We'll be right back. Like just really need to think about this." And they just like, just fucking just like go to Pound Town on a e-ciggy.
Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. There are queens from past seasons who have talked about knowing each other were cigarette smokers was great because then they could like both go out and have a cigarette break and also bitch about everybody while turning off their mics. And I was like, yeah, I feel that, which is ironic because in the Dragula, which is it's similar to Drag Race but a lot more edgy and dark, like grunge gothic kind of interesting stuff.
Oh, for
They
sure.
actually film them if they go out for cigarette breaks. Like they get what they say while they're out there, and I thought that was interesting because I'm like, damn, you can't even get off camera to smoke.
Nope, not in
Shit.
this house. It's all out
um,
there.
so I knew I loved Utica Queen and that like I'll say hands down, Utica Queen was my definite favorite from the beginning, like with the reveal looks when they introduce all the queens, and it was because
Yeah,
these
yes, he
looks
was.
were just fantastic. This one, which is a half and half Mad Hatter checker, it's got 3 different types of gingham print on it, and the headpiece is made of 3 different hats. This was the other Meet the Queens look that she wore, which, like, it's terrifying, but I love it. It says, "This is going to crawl out of your grandmother's closet in your nightmares." But it's
It's
so cute at the same time.
oh yeah, oh, dude. The bubbles too. Like like I like how it's like bubbling like balls of yarn, but then like it's got like the little pots of the pens too. What's the point of the sewing needles to have like those rounded bits at the end?
It's the knitting needles, so it doesn't slide off the end. So your knitting doesn't just like, it's
Oh,
got somewhere to stop, keep it from
I've
coming off.
never
They do make knitting needles without anything on the end. They're just not as popular, I guess.
I've never performed the act of knittage.
Oh,
I must
I've
admit.
tried knitting.
So
It's harder than you would think. I'm great at sewing, but knitting is hard for me.
so there was actually
Um,
one time at one point in time when we were playing D&D back in like junior high, one of our group members' girlfriends did knit at the session every now and then, and I guess I was just more focused on the roles than I was on that because I never really thought about it before, huh?
I mean, I will say, like, it's something that I enjoy doing while I'm watching TV or something else. I have a knitting loom that I like. That way I can, like,
Oh yeah, I've
I
seen
don't have
that.
to keep everything on a needle. I can do it, like, around a loom, and I'm working on a blanket. I've been working on that blanket for over a year, though, so we'll see.
You
It's
know,
only
it's
got,
a
like, 20
slow
rows.
slow burn project, you know. Take a
Oh,
year to make a
real slow
blanket,
burn.
take a year to make it, use it for 10 years. It's exponential. The slower you make
Exactly.
it, it's an aged blanket. Can you
I
age
will
a
say,
blanket?
is this not the most adorable look you've ever seen? I feel like you could rock this look, but also, on the other hand, I could rock this look.
It's
This is just a
very
confessional outfit.
it's
It's
a
very cute,
very
hipstery.
what's the word? Oh god, I always fuck up this word. Or it's very
Androgynous.
there you go, androgynous. I always want to say ambivalent.
Yeah,
That's not the word.
yeah, I would say this is a very androgynous look. It definitely works on masculine or feminine people, and doesn't really take a side to one or the
Can
other. This was
you
Utica Queen's entrance look, and I was floored just because I love mixing up patterns, stuff like that. She's also allergic to strawberries, so that's why she put a giant strawberry on her head, I guess. Interesting. Um,
these are
Utica was
maybe
also
questions
recently
of
featured in Vogue magazine back in February for a specific look she created for the runway. They had a challenge. There's often challenges where they have to create looks out of things you wouldn't normally have to create
Oh,
looks out of.
dude, that one
And
drove me fucking wild.
this was beautiful. Vogue featured her, and, like, I will say, Gottmik, the winner of the challenge, did a really good outfit as well. But this outfit, to create this out of sleeping bags, is incredible. Like, it literally looks like something you would see walking down a Fashion Week runway. In fact, there are looks that have been put next to it that are very similar.
I just
There was
specifically
outrage when
love
she
it.
didn't win this one, I will say.
Yeah, me too. I'm just completely impressed that she managed to recreate the gaping dragon one for one. Like, how do you do that with a sleeping bag?
Like, how?
You don't even
I
know what I'm talking about, Aubrey.
I don't. But you know what? I just sleeping bags are very thick. I've worked on sewing machines. Can't imagine. What's the gaping dragon? Show me.
If I can type.
I also like this one just because I'm a big
Slowly.
Carol Burnett fan. My grandmother really likes Carol Burnett, and this is paying homage to Carol Burnett's Gone with the Window sketch, but,
It's
like, in
this
her
guy.
own fashion style. Oh, oh my!
Yeah, this guy.
I would
Perfect.
say
100% recreated.
it's got a little more class and finesse than that, but yeah,
What has more
absolutely.
finesse than 100,000 teeth, Aubrey?
This was probably the look you were thinking of that felt like
Oh, and now that's just
weird
straight
for
up
a
looks
religious person to do.
like an undead queen from Bloodborne. It's does Utica just do Dark Souls? Is that what she does? Yeah, I see. Like
I suppose, sort of. This is a medieval look, so the famous medieval sideless dress that was too sexy to be worn.
too sexy to be. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, too sexy, and I enjoy it.
See, yeah, there we go. That's also one for one. Check that out. See,
Oh, you're right. That does really look like it. Here, I'll get it for the side by side. Here we
there
go.
you go.
Yeah, very that.
Bury that, whatever it is. Anyway.
um, and then this ties into Simone. This was last week's runway look. For the makeover challenge, two queens had to take each other and then put each other in each other's drag styles. And Simone out the gate was like, I want to put Utica in the Baps movie look. So Baps is Black African Princesses, very famous movie. It's definitely worth a watch. I think it's pretty fun, but it depends. It doesn't have great ratings, I'll
I
say
have
that.
not seen it.
Utica was very hesitant at first because she was very afraid that, like, is this cultural appropriation? And I very much understand that because, like, in our culture right now, it's tricky to know what's cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation. But RuPaul was very quick to reassure Utica that, like, this is coming from a place of love. You have no need to worry because you know that you're doing this for the right reasons. Simone knows you're doing this for the right reasons. So fuck what everybody else says is what RuPaul said to her. And that was great because both of them were so nervous to be each other. And then to see them execute it really well, like she fully gave us Simone on the runway, which was really impressive because normally she's
Simone
very
is a
quirky.
fucking queen. It's
Now
crazy.
Simone, I was a big fan of Simone, right out the gate as well because Simone comes from Simone comes from Conway, Arkansas.
Yeah,
And having
right.
just moved from Arkansas myself, I was shocked that somebody so amazing could come out of somewhere so shitty like Conway. Like, no offense, Conway, Arkansas, but like, you're not a town of superstars,
Hey,
and
I
you know
mean,
it.
I think that's where, if I'm not mistaken, that's where like our like cool University Hendrix is, right?
I think so.
Right. I don't know. I think that's the case, but I remember Conway being a somewhat important place that I'd gone to in Arkansas at some point before I left. I don't know.
Simone was definitely somebody I was going to look out for because of the being from Conway, Arkansas, but also she is a drag sister to Gigi Good, and Gigi Good was my favorite from the last season. And you can see she has the same polish, the same like eye for fashion that Gigi does, and I love that. Um, let's go to her season 13 looks. A lot of her, so the thing that I love about Simone is a lot of Simone's outfits pay homage either to looks that other celebrities have done or more specifically like black culture. And like one of my favorites was the do-rag runway. Like a do-rag is not something you think of as being fashionable or like elegant.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that. Like it's definitely a staple in black fashion for sure, and a historic piece that used to be a lot more popular like back in the 90s. As she came out for the trains runway in like a 20-foot long do-rag. It was the most magnificent do-rag I had ever seen in my life, and RuPaul was in love.
Mm.
Um,
How could you not? Like,
she also did this look. It was supposed to be a pun
no, we're
on
gonna get demonetized in our first video, Aubrey.
this was supposed to be a
It's too
bag pun for the
sexual.
runway, and the pun for this one was fun bags, and this is directly in like an over the top campy version of a look that Diana Ross wore where she had huge titties.
Damn.
And it was really fun. And at the very end of the runway, she popped them both, like,
Oh
so they just like
yeah.
flattened out.
She did do
Um,
that.
this look was a direct reference to RuPaul and an outfit, a hairstyle that RuPaul did, and then
Please,
the outfit was completely made of like hair extensions
could you give a
that
bit of
she.
a description for the audio only listeners right now?
Oh, this is like a double circle updo thing with some braids on the side. It's really hard to explain.
No full
But
commitment. Come on.
RuPaul did do this for, I believe, one of his music videos. And then she's wearing this like two-piece dress that is, it looks like it's made of like fringe fabric, but
And
it's literally hair,
it all
which
like
was
connects in
genius.
a ring in the middle too. Like it all
Yes.
like can. Oh, that's
The
good. That's
uh
good design.
the photo shoot she did on Instagram, which I'm gonna pull pictures from these queens' Instagrams to post on ours, so that you can see like the photo shoot versions, since we're just showing you the runway looks. Because the photo shoot version she did of this was in like a hair and wig store. And so she literally, one of them, she looks like she's a mannequin head in the store. And it's really cute.
And very
Um,
uncanny.
and obviously, this is a nod to Black culture because extensions and weave are a lot more popular. And going to the hair store is much more of a thing in Black culture than it is for white people. I mean, we just frankly like don't do anything fun with our hair, if I'm being honest.
Hey, let me do something, okay? I try.
Fair. This next look was for the beaded runway, and it is like, I mean, Simone calls herself the Ebony Enchantress, and that is what this is. Like, it is a beautiful, very like African tribal look. And when she turned around, her hair said Simone in her hair beads,
Like,
which
holy.
was,
How much time did that take? Like, could
oh,
you
I can't
imagine?
imagine the amount of time just doing all of her wigs for this season must have been insane because all of them are immaculate. Like, and that's not like I haven't even gone over the ones from the earlier part of the season that were also really wonderful.
See, with this amount of time, Simone, with their quarantine, Simone made a wig. We made a
So
podcast.
the biggest thing that Simone did that like honestly this last week was a great week for her, like with the makeover challenge, but the week before that was Snatch Game, and she made a bold choice to bring Miss Harriet Tubman to the
Mm-hmm.
Snatch Game stage, and it was hilarious without being like making a mockery of anything or like being offensive. Like, it was
Listen,
funny, and it was like Harriet Tubman all the way. Like, if she was in a room with all these white celebrity women, that this is who she would be. And I loved it. Just having grown up reading a lot about Harriet Tubman, I was floored by her like take on what Harriet Tubman would do at the Snatch Game.
oh, for sure. I
Um,
feel like that was like one of the few.
and
Like,
to like solidify that, to solidify that Simone is making a statement in most of her runways, the Snatch Game week runway was by far the biggest statement she has made on the runway, and it almost moved me to tears because I didn't expect this at all, but at the same time, like, could not be more proud that a competitor would bring this to the stage. Uh, this was a fascinating fascinators look, and she comes out in this beautiful leather, almost pope-like garment. I recognized later that the headpiece is supposed to be a peace lily, which is very, very fond flower for funerals. We have peace lilies from like my grandfather's funeral. They live a long ass time. And when she turned around, oh, well,
nice.
I was literally just looking at an article where they talked to her about specifically this week's look. Yes. So, I will read directly from this article here on EW.com by Joey Nolfi. For the fascinating fascinator hats for the runway, Simone strutted towards the judges with a lily on her head and a tight-fitting white gown hugging her form. At the end of the stage, Simone turned around to reveal red crystal-studded bullet holes on her back, and the words "Say Their Names" emblazoned on her headpiece as she spoke the names of murdered black Americans like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Brayla Stone, Trayvon Martin, Tony McDade, Nina Pop, and Monica Diamond, and that is just to name a few, frankly. Below, Simone walked through with the conception and creation of this show-stopping piece, and so we get a little bit more of her insight. Simone did say directly that putting her hands up as she turned the runway was directly like when police put your hands up, don't shoot. That's a direct reference to that. She also put a video up on her Instagram and her YouTube, which I think very much relays her message in a more concise way and a more heart-hitting way that I really, really will recommend you go check out. We can leave a link to that in our description.
Yeah.
I just think that like this is something that deserves to be on the RuPaul's Drag Race stage, because if anyone knows the struggles of losing lives in their community, it is the LGBT community. Having gone through the AIDS crisis, and trans lives are being lost every day. So I think seeing this was something that brought me personally a lot of hope, and I like to see representatives of the LGBT community bringing forth powerful messages and using their platforms for good, which is something that like we also want to do. It's just hard because this is not our story, and we know that. So I'm just glad to have somebody sharing their story on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race like that, so that it can inspire thousands of other people.
And hopefully it does that. I mean, that's the truest form of what are we
We're talking about a lot of heavy things. Maybe we got some to lighten things up a little bit.
I don't know. What are we?
I mean, I'd be glad to talk about Simone for another 30-45 minutes, but I assume you probably want to get somewhere.
Well, maybe if we're gonna do that, we should make a RuPaul's podcast first.
Oh yeah, that's true. But then we gotta compete with like the Chop,
people who are actually
Grace
on
Chaser,
the show,
and
people who actually like know these
step
people
siblings.
and are part of the community and stuff.
Oh yeah.
For personal and family, or stuff like that. Hey, I mean, just because even like watchers can have something to say. I mean, it's a different perspective. I wish I had more to say throughout said message, but you're much more of an avid watcher than I am, and also a lot more have a lot more to say on it, I feel.
Yeah, it's just something that like it's my weekly ritual. I watch it every week. It's like one of the very few shows I watch as it comes out week by week. And I've just noticed a lot more in the recent seasons that it is starting to get to a place where I'm like extremely proud that this show is on air, because while RuPaul, not gonna lie, RuPaul Charles, bad person, not a good celebrity, does not use his platform for good in most ways. But to see all of these other queens using his platform for good makes me so fucking happy. Sorry, YouTube, but I'm gonna say fucking in that instance.
No, it's okay. It wasn't in the first minute. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. You're not listening anymore.
Whew.
So
should we take a short break and be right back?
Oh, but I'm gonna have to like figure out how to like splice the videos again. That was so hard last time.
Can you not
Um,
just?
I mean, I could just leave it going, and we could both leave the room for like 5 minutes and come back if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I guess. I gotta pee real bad.
Well, then go pee. I'll just do something, okay? I don't gotta do anything. Just go. Get the fuck out of here. And I'll do something specifically for the video and cut this out for the audio part, okay?
All right. BRB.
Yeah, get the fuck out. It's our time. Your time's over. It's time for us. It's time for me and the audience. All right. Oh, this is some good stuff right here. That's a lot of fucking wrinkles. That's each wrinkle is a volume of speakable knowledge that this woman knows and has gained throughout her life. This fact that not people know, wrinkles are completely related to the things you know. So it's where all of Gordon Ramsay's wrinkles, those ones he's got up in his forehead, like those ones, these ones, that every single roll, like that wedge, those bumps, yeah, that is like a year of culinary school and teachings that he has given other people. Here, let me. I feel like it would be easier. Yeah. Here we go. Let's get more. Oh man, he's going crazy with the haircut now. Sorry, I was just sharing with the listeners about wrinkles, how wrinkles on your face actually equivocate to a volume and or just like a book's worth of like speakable knowledge that you have on a certain topic. Oh, you have a phone call. Okay. Is it one you gotta stay on, or I can keep going. Okay. So I mean, obviously, each of these ones right here, each fold is a different set of years of his culinary experience, like I've said. That's why you see them gesticulate the most whenever he's yelling at people. It's because of the fact that like that's where he's pulling, crunching down, and biting up the knowledge, as they say. Like you squeezing the knowledge out of those wrinkles to really get them into his brain, so he can yell at and just get all that info out. Because I mean, that's how long-term memory works, right? And then these ones over here, his right eye, all of these are the different books worth of insults that he's read over the years, so he can come up with new things to say. I mean, where the fuck? I mean, you don't just come up with insults like that. You gotta find it from somewhere. I mean, come on, Gordon. Don't act like you didn't look up some sort of like dictionary of insults at some point. You gotta show. Like, everybody does research for their show. That seems like a Gordon Ramsay research. Anyway, this cheek right here, it's actually his most recent blemish that he has acquired through knowledge. That part's for fucking. I mean, that's that curl. That's the fucking part. I mean, you see it, whenever they're like, like a person is, it's like everyone does that. I mean, that's how you engage. It's how you engage the bone knowledge, as they call it. Anyway, that's enough of Gordon Ramsay examples. Oh, this one probably. See, yep. Here's one of him engaging in his culinary muscles. And see, not very much. See, he is engaging the boning. He is engaging the bony wrinkle a little bit here. This may be a face that the man's makes whenever he is bony. So seems like some pretty sound logic to me. Are you back yet, Aubrey?
Yes, I have. Random thought. My boyfriend's mom just texted me. Did you say you liked to bowl? And I'm like, oh, I love bowling. And I used to be good at bowling a couple years ago, but it has been so long since I went bowling because, like, bowling and COVID, ew.
Ew. Dude, that's
But I used to be good.
I keep having this conniption fit every time I roll into my roll into my house. I stroll up, I pass by, I make the turn, and there's a freaking retro bowl right down the street from my house. This like bowling alley, specifically a retro bowl, and it's always full. Like I've never seen this parking lot empty. And I mean, I've only moved here since February, so what's going on? What are these people doing? Why are there constantly people inside of the Retro Bowl?
Which is wild because, like, when I was coming up here,
It just looks
and
generally
staying.
nasty. Why would you even want to chance it?
Well, okay, to be fair, are not all bowling alleys generally nasty? And I feel like if the bowling alley is too clean, it's not a good bowling alley.
I feel like bowling alleys smell more like sweat factories than gyms do. Why is that? It's the laziest sport. How is it the sweatiest smelling?
Because everyone's using the same shoes. Not the answer you want.
It's the
Oh.
one I needed, though.
Oh, what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
What? I just have a picture of Gordon Ramsay pulled up?
Oh, are we not talking about Gordon Ramsay? I got too excited.
No, I was trying to, like I said, I was trying to explain wrinkles and what wrinkles are to people. The
right.
forehead ones are his culinary knowledge muscles, and these lines are the fucking muscles. That's why they're slightly engaged right now, because it's probably the face he makes whenever he's
Yeah, I will say,
using the bone
For-
knowledge.
for any listeners curious about what reality show I've recently been on a binge of, it's not just RuPaul's Drag Race. I've also been binging
Aubrey's
a lot
Trash
of
Watch.
kitchen. Yeah, Aubrey's Trash Watch. Kitchen Nightmares. I have been watching since like I've seen clips here and then, but I started the beginning season like from back in 2000, like what 2006 or something. And now I'm on like the third or fourth season. I enjoy it. Maybe it's just because I work in a restaurant, have worked in a couple restaurants, so I really enjoy it. Oh, that's terrifying.
Keep going, Aubrey. This is unrelated.
I've really enjoyed it just because, like, from my perspective of a server, a lot of the times the servers aren't the ones doing anything wrong in the show. They're just doing their jobs, and it's fascinating to see how some of them have just like decided I'm gonna be okay with this because what else am I supposed to do? Like, I get it, but damn, if I worked in any of these restaurants, I'd be like, don't come eat where I work. And I can't imagine that because, like, I'm used to working places where I'm like, yeah, come eat where I work. It's so good and fresh.
I mean, how could
But-
you how could you feel okay working at a place that like I mean at that point are you almost working there just out of like I don't want to say it but like pity for the owner because you don't want to like leave them without an employee, but it's also
Well,
like
yeah,
these people got to make ends
and-
meet too.
Well, I will also say the first couple seasons were filmed during the recession, so it made sense that a lot of these restaurants were failing anyways, outside of the fact that their food was shit. But it makes sense to me a little bit more putting that into perspective, like why some of the waiters continue to work here if they're not making any money. Because what do you do if you can't find another job?
Yeah,
Like,
make
you
a
might
good
as well
point.
stick with the job that's making you very little money than having no job and no money. So I understand why some of these servers have stayed there. It just sucks to see it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm uncomfortable with sequin reveal pillows.
Oh, that have faces on them?
Yeah. The Nick Cage one is the one that I think of the most.
I don't know how to spell reveal. Yeah, there it is.
Yep, that's the one. It makes me really uncomfortable.
It feels like you're laying a trap for your guests whenever they come over. You just nestle that one amongst the mini couch pillows, and then over the course of the night, you just wait as they helplessly reach for pillows, as a guests do when they are sitting on your couch. And I mean, it's a sequin pillow. People are gonna fuck with it. It happens. That's the existence of a sequin pillow is to be used as if a fidget spinner. It's used for idle hand movements. And you've laid a trap because
Yeah.
they now have this sequin pillow in their hands, and they're gonna see what color the other side of it is. Like, the brain is too curious to not try. And look what you've done. You've ruined their night.
I can't help but notice one of those sequin reveal pillows is a gender reveal pillow. And I'm just gonna say it. It's 2021. Why are we still doing gender reveals?
Yeah, wait.
I mean,
Okay.
like, sometimes I feel like a jerk saying that, but at the same time, like, it feels really, like, gender normy, and, like, I don't like
Oh,
that.
you mean like the baby revealing thing?
Yeah, because, like, I have a pregnant coworker, and she was talking about having a gender reveal party, and somebody mentioned, I guess Demi Lovato said she thinks gender reveal parties are transphobic. That was what one of my coworkers had said. And I was like, well, I can understand why she said that, because if your child does grow up and they want to transition, then yeah, you had a gender reveal party for literally nothing, because, I mean, gender is a social construct. We're not talking about, just for the record, we're not talking about sex, we're talking about gender, two different things. Sex, your birth sex, you can't change that. Gender, social construct.
See, what I want to take it to this level of, I've always just considered it irrelevant,
Weird?
and just something that people post because they want to have something to talk about to people online. And
See, I can see that too. Like, I feel like it's just an excuse to have a party about your pregnancy.
Which, I mean, like, it's cool and all that you're having a kid, but at the same
Well, why not
time,
just
like,
have a baby shower?
why not just not light a forest on fire? Okay, I mean, that's not like,
It's
that's
a
not like,
specific
it doesn't
instance.
happen.
Well, there was also some guy that I think, like, got killed by a gender reveal.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Was it the father? I hope it wasn't the father. That'd be very. It's a
I'm gonna
Gah!
look that up.
Get it.
I should probably share my screen.
Do it.
Gender reveal device
Oh, no.
explosion kills a man in Liberty, New York.
You've revealed my trick.
Yeah, it was the father. It was the father. Ooh, I want to know what the device was, though. His brother, the oldest of his brothers, called this the, quote, freakiest of freak accidents I could ever imagine. I mean, quote, yeah.
I mean, if you were expecting to die in any part of your life, I mean, I would assume at the gender reveal of your child's birth would probably be the last place you would put on that list, you know. Not really the kind of place you fear about death, but
yeah, but there was also a 26-year-old man in Michigan that died after he was hit with shrapnel from, quote, a small cannon type device, end quote, that exploded after it was fired in celebration at a baby shower. Maybe don't fire cannons at your baby shower.
So what you're saying is the best way to catch a man off guard and murder him is at his baby shower when he is at least expecting.
Oh my gosh. No, and here's another article where a woman died. People are dying left and right at these gender reveal parties. If that doesn't tell you to stop having gender reveal parties, I don't know what will.
The universe says no, guys. The universe says no to gender reveal. We gotta put a stop to
In
it.
fact, here's an article from fox8.com that says, after 2 recent deaths, why are people still doing extreme baby gender reveals?
Because it's fun. I mean, what better way to tell the entire world? Because, I mean, if someone dies, I mean, everyone's going to talk about it, Hey, you know what? I'm just going to take the L on this, honey. Like, let's give our girl the best life she possibly can and let everybody in the world know that it's a girl. I got this. Take me out.
Exactly. Like, and who knows? Yeah, she might have a vagina, but in a year, she might decide that doesn't matter.
Who
Go
knows?
figure. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a perfectly normal way, and that should be okay. But maybe you're too stuck on the fact that you revealed your baby was a girl, so it's got to be a girl now. Oh. This also reminds me of a good Garfunkel Oates song called Pregnant Women Are Smug. I feel that way about pregnant women a lot.
Yeah. You wanna
Yeah.
go ahead, step up on your soapbox and antagonize all the pregnant women that listen to our show, Aubrey? Just want to go ahead and tell all of them that they suck right now. They're listening. Hey, everybody who's pregnant, turn it up. Turn it up right now, like really high.
To quote the song, it says, pregnant women are smug. Everybody knows it. Nobody says it because they're pregnant. Effin' son of a gun. I don't remember the rest.
That was beautiful.
There is a part though where they're like, "Oh, what's the gender?" "Oh, we know, but we're not telling." I can't wait till somebody just says, "Can't wear if it can't don't care if it's brain dead, don't care if it's limbless, if it has a penis." That's quite a statement in itself.
So they're saying that they'd rather have a boy than have a functional human being as a child. That's
Well, it's
so
like
that's so weird. You don't have control over any of that either.
oh no, it's when people say like, "Oh, do you want a boy or a girl?" And people are like, "Oh, I don't care as long as it's healthy." Well, I don't feel like those two things are related since they're mutually exclusive. Like they don't have to relate. Like your baby can be healthy and be either gender, so like that wasn't the question.
I mean, I feel like they're just saying that they don't really care what kind of genitalia their child has as long as it's healthy. The child. Well, I mean, I assume also the genitalia. I
Yeah, but
assume
it
they're
kind of
not
feels
thinking
like
really.
bullshit when they say that and then have a gender reveal party.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are duplicitous and hypocrites, and we all exist in a world of lies, and that is
Yeah,
the
that's
state
true.
of the world. So, anyway, would you like to? Did I have a topic this week?
I don't know, did you?
No, not at all. No, I did not. I don't know. I didn't have a topic. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't do those here. You said it yourself. Aubrey, they can see you texting now. You can't get away with it anymore.
Listen, I had to put in an order with my boyfriend to pick me up some of them cheesy pepper jack taquitos from Quick Trip. No, Quick Trip is not sponsoring me, but by God, I wish they would.
Damn it, you're making
So,
me hungry.
putting it out in the universe. Quick Trip, sponsor us. I used to work for you, sponsor me.
Aubrey, you
Just
may have
saying.
just shortened the lifespan of our episode by mentioning that, because now I'm getting hungry. How long have we been recording for?
Barbecue chips. I got some of those. I also got some tomato basil wheat thins.
Yeah, hand it through. Hand it through. I can. The microphone's got really large holes, so.
So I think I can pull it out.
Yeah. Oh no, that's too small. I can't make a joke. Okay. Well, we're not a prop comedy show apparently. So I could bore you about the the proper way to drink sake, and apparently why it should never be heated, which really upsets me to a very strong degree.
Why should
Um,
it never be heated? No, I'm upset too now because I'm like, I always heard that that was like proper sake was hot.
yeah, okay, so tell me you're gonna have to wait. We're delving into this.
I
You've
just
probably
what?
heard someone spout facts on all you can eat sushi night in that real traditional way to drink sake hot. You probably struggled and went along with it, struggling through the ethanol steam wafting into your eyes, try to keep a straight face through the harsh, burning taste. Because, what do you know about sake? We're here to set the record straight. Drinking hot sake is a rookie mistake that leads to far from an enjoyable drinking experience. I disagree. I
I disagree.
disagree. I disagree because you know what? I like the ethanol taste wafting into my nose and just burning my nostrils. I mean,
I just feel like
to
it goes
see.
down smoother when it's warm, personally.
Well, that and also, I mean, like, it's kind of like, it smells kind of like ginger smells, where it kind of just, like, eats at your nose buds a little bit. I mean, don't you want
Yeah,
that with sushi? It's
it's got a
very,
little
like,
bite.
it's very harsh, very snappy. It's got a lot of, like, you want to, like, fight that fishiness, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so what the hell's going on here?
What the
Uh,
hell is going on here?
historical good sake doesn't need heat to be palatable. Warming it can actually ruin the flavor. Higher quality sakes, they take the grain of rice, and polish it away. More polished
Okay.
the rice, the higher grade the sake is. So once again, you know, Japanese customs to be just utterly precision focused on their work.
Right.
For in all of their products, it is insane. Uh, Junmai Jinjo, I totally said that wrong, but polishes away 30 to 49% of the rice. When you polish the grain, you get to the heart of the rice, which is where you get to see the nicer aromatics and the flavor profiles. Junmai also means pure in Japanese, which means there is no additives to the brewing process, which results in a clean taste. So apparently, when it's hot, you just can't really like taste it, you know, is what it's saying so far. Heat up sake, it intensifies the alcohol flavor and makes and masks the natural, beautiful taste and aromas.
I'm surprised that that is what they say, is that you just can't taste it as much, and that's why they say you should never drink it hot.
The last time you had hot sake was probably at a budget sushi joint. Hey, hot or chilled, it's actually poorly matched with the rice-based dishes regardless. Historically, when rice dishes came out, the sake went away. So pairing sake with sushi isn't actually the best idea.
Really interesting that they say low budget sushi joint, because I'm thinking specifically of
You're gonna blast them. You're gonna blast them out right now.
yeah, what's the name? Oh, I'm not trying to
Uh,
blast them. I was just gonna say that like they're owned
but
by Stephen Yun's wife's family. Stephen Yun, very famous from The Walking Dead, playing Glenn, and his wife is from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and her family,
what?
which they are Asian American. I don't know specifically if they're Japanese, but they are Asian Americans, and they own Shogun in Fayetteville,
Oh, you're
Arkansas, which
talking
is
about Wasabi. That place is kind of expensive. I'm thinking about the other one that changed names like 3 or 4
no,
times
I'm
when I
thinking
lived there.
Shogun.
Oh, well, like the nice place? That place isn't a
Shogun's the
cheap.
nice place. That's what I'm thinking of. That's where we had hot sake, or I had hot sake the first time. You had ordered it. Um, but yeah, Shogun's the one that's owned by that lady's family,
Wild.
for sure.
I would always order it at the place that was actually the cheap sushi place.
Oh,
uh,
it was Tokyo Sushi before they changed to something else now. And it was also called Miso at one point. It's been
yeah.
called Tokyo Sushi and it's been called Miso, and now I believe it has a third name.
Even more generic than the last. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, but I did really enjoy that place. It's like right off Dixon Street in Fayetteville, Arkansas, if you're ever in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And it's It's pretty good in my opinion. Went there quite a few times, and
There's a
it
reason
was
it's the one I
cheap, but
frequented the most.
yeah. I mean, if you
Um,
want something a little more upscale, go to Wasabi or Shogun for sure. But if you're
yo,
just looking to have a easy in and out sushi experience,
we still haven't gone to that breakfast place that we accidentally. What?
Gates Kitchen.
We gotta do that.
We're gonna go.
We also like can't be super specific about where it is, so we don't like dox ourselves though. So like,
I mean, it already has a name. They can just look up where it is.
shit. Okay, moving on.
I mean, they don't have our. It's not doxing unless it's
Some
the
people
exact
have
address.
banned sake from their drinking repertoire after a few bad nights of pairing hot sake with low-grade sushi. Rune urges people to give a drink another chance. The experience that most people have had in the US is the American sake, which is very different from Japanese sake in quality, both in rice and water. In a liquor store can be intimidating because many bottles are in kanji, the Japanese alphabet, for those who weren't know. Yeah. So thanks, Thrillist, for telling me that I'm doing it wrong.
I mean, fuck the Trillist. I am going to continue to drink my sake hot when I please.
Yeah, you know what? It may taste better, but fuck you. I'm poor as shit, so I'm gonna keep drinking that cheap shit, and I'm gonna keep heating it up as hot as I want. I want that shit burning my mouth both physically and more metaphorically alcohol speaking, okay? You
Yeah,
can't tell me how to live my life, Thrillist.
exactly.
Is that the message going out? Don't let Thrillist tell you how to live your life.
Exactly.
Heat your sake to exactly the Fahrenheit degree, or Celsius, or Kelvin if that's your thing.
Whatever metric system floats your boat.
Heat it to how you want. Okay? This is like Burger King, without the food
Have it
poisoning.
your way.
Can I turn it off now? I'm really hungry.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like Burger King. Have it your way.
Um,
Ah.
they
Oh, hey,
almost
perfect
killed me
timing.
last time.